What's up everyone, and today I will teach you how to defeat the Golden Hippopotamus boss in Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC if you're having trouble with him. I'll go through his weaknesses so you can build a build essentially around him to make it easier, and I'll also go through all of his attacks and how to avoid them and counter them properly. So first off, this hippopotamus is very weak to fire, so I would suggest, if you want this to be really easy and to do a lot of damage to him, I would suggest you changing to a fire build. So what I did personally is I was using the Dryleaf Arts weapon, and I simply changed the affinity to fire, and that's it. That's all I did. And as you'll see, I was doing a ton of damage with the Palm Blast Ash of War. It's not a particularly hard boss, but just like everything in this DLC, it seems that you become really squishy to like everything and everyone. So, you know, you don't want to take too much damage in this fight, of course. All of his attacks hurt a lot, and I mean, I was level 300 plus and I could tank like 2-3 hits and then it's over, you know? So do be properly leveled. It doesn't matter what level you are, because again, with this DLC, it scales with you. The enemies will all scale with you no matter what level you are. So even if you're level 713, you can still get 3-shot by a boss. So don't come in here telling me you're way too upper level for this boss, because you're talking straight shit out of your ass. So let's get into his attacks. He doesn't actually do much, but he hits like a freaking truck, which makes sense because, you know, he's huge. Now, at first I thought, oh, this is gonna be like, you know, the Vort boss fight. It's not gonna be too hard, he's just a big dude, right? And then he turned into freaking SOTE. So the first thing you'll see is the second you walk in the boss room, he will lunge at you. Which is like his bite attack. You need to dodge the second he gets close to you, but if you're too late, he will eat you up as it is. Now, if you are a melee build like I was for this fight, he will continue running until he hits the wall in whatever direction he's going. So if you want to be able to properly punish him and not be 500 feet away without any way to do damage long range, you want to actually back up into a wall, and then the second he gets too close, you will dodge to the left and you'll be able to punish him, because the recovery on all of his attacks are pretty slow. So that is the strategy for the running bite grab that he does. Now the second thing he will do, whether it's in phase 1 or in phase 2, is that he will do a belly flop. Now with the belly flop, one, you will take damage if you're underneath him, of course, but you also take damage from the ripple of the impact. You have to roll away from him and as he's coming down, because the shockwave of the impact can also hurt you. The other attacks he has in phase 1, which also carry over to phase 2, is that he'll do 2 slow headbutts. They are on the slowish side, so you want to take your time to dodge them, because if you dodge too quick, even if you dodge the first one, you'll get hit by the second one, which happened to me a lot. So you don't want that to happen. Once you get the timing down, it's actually pretty easy to dodge. All of his attacks are pretty delayed. Now he has another headbutt attack, but this one, he basically winds up the attack, he moves his head to the side and you see him move his head to the side, and then he hits you with the horn and throws you in the air. Now that one does a ton more damage, and it is extremely late. He winds that thing up forever. So yeah, the wind up is really slow, but be careful, because once he snaps his head up, it's very quick. So for phase 1, that's all you have to watch out for. When he gets into phase 2, he gets freaking thorns, which is awesome. So the new attacks that he gains in this phase, once he hits a 50% health or lower, he will do a literal Sonic the Hedgehog spin, but that one is really easy to avoid and he doesn't send out any thorns. All you have to do is dodge left or right, and then he'll continue spinning and he'll stop eventually. Like, it doesn't really track, so it's kind of useless, but you know, you probably will never get hit by that. Now the other ones you have to watch out for, he will go for a belly flop and then he will send thorns out and they will come down from the sky basically. So it's kind of like the Aldrich fight in Dark Souls 3, right? However, his arrows were way freaking more annoying to deal with, but it's basically the same things. But actually you don't want to run left When he does it, you want to run to the right or roll to the right, but sometimes rolling isn't fast enough. I would suggest running instead. The other attacks that he gains is actually the Ash of War that you get from beating him, and he does like a spin on the side and he sends out some thorns. Now this can catch you really off guard and kill you really quickly. But what you want to do is roll as the thorns are sent out, and you'll basically roll through them and not get damaged. So that's the gist of it for this boss fight. You know, it's not intricate, it's not super hard or annoying to get through. He just really hits hard. And if you're having trouble and you're using like a melee build or something like that, try to use a shield, so at least you'll be able to cover his headbutts that he does up close. And if you use the dry leaf arts like I was using, you can also stance break him with the palm blast. But as long as you're using fire, you'll be fine. I really hope this guide was helpful for you guys. I have a ton of build ideas but I kind of want to make these boss guides as I'm going through them, right, as I'm playing the DLC. So yeah, I hope you stick around to see all the builds I'm gonna do. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll see you all very soon.